Welcome to Man Matters Podcast, where combat sports, mindset, and real life lessons collide. Hosted by Derving and Nate, we dive into jiu-jitsu, wrestling, MMA, and the grind that shapes athletes inside and outside the mat. Every episode we bring stories, strategies, and raw conversations that fuel growth, resilience, and community. Stay tuned because it's more than a fight, it's a lifestyle. There's a moment in every sport where everything changes. Not with a punch, not with a takedown, but with a decision. A decision to risk the future for the present. A decision to sacrifice the body for something the world may never fully understand. Right now, across the landscapes of combat sports, those decisions are being made. For decades, grapplers step onto the mats of ADCC, chasing something intangible, not money, not fame, but legacy. And now, for the first time in sports, is beginning to give back to those who build it. The warriors who fought in silence are finally being seen. At the same time, a different kind of battle is brewing. A legend of another era, Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscle from Brussels, a step forward, not for glory, not even for himself, but to challenge the new face of prize fighting, Jake Paul, not in a boxing ring, but in the spirit of combat itself. After the world promised not to his pocket, but to charity. Because for some, combat was never about profit, it was about purpose. And while legends challenge the future is no longer waiting in its turn. Young athletes are burning their safety nets, sacrificing years of eligibility, stepping into the fire now because they believe they belong now. Others are being forced to walk away, not by a choice, but by a quiet accumulation of damage, the kind no crowd ever sees. And then there are those who have already conquered everything, choosing to begin again, proving that mastery isn't a destination, it's a lifetime, and surrendering the ego and stepping back into uncertainty. It is not just a moment in combat sports. This is a shift in money, a shift in power, a shift in legacy. Tonight, we explore the sacrifices, the risks, and the decisions that define fighters long before the crowd ever knows their name. Because long before victory comes the choice to step forward, and not everyone is willing to make it. Welcome back to the show. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just a little sniffling from the wind. That weather has been, North Carolina weather is just up and down. 76, then 18, windy as hell.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at
it's
least it's
been a
not as
week.
bad as up north, right?
Well, it's not as cold. Yeah, not as cold.
Yeah, I heard that up there in Rhode Island and places they have a lot of snow.
A lot of snow. Yeah. 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 They got hit pretty hard this past weekend, which they've been getting hit hard pretty much all winter. So it's just piling up.
It's winter as well.
Yeah.
I heard like some places they have 3 feet of snow
Mm,
over the weekend. In New York they were getting snow, but also they were getting 60 miles wind gusts with the snow.
that's terrible.
It's like a blizzard. Like,
Yeah.
They reminded me. Have you ever seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow? That's what reminded me of Frozen Tundra. There. Uh, so let's start with something we athletes in grappling have waited decades to see. We talk about ADCC increasing athletes' pay, the professionals um, of grappling. We should consider the Olympics of grappling to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
So the increasing the pay for athletes is huge because historically grapplers have competed for prestige, not money. The initial price was $10,000. It hasn't changed since it first started. It's kind of crazy
It
nowadays.
is really crazy. How many years has ADCC been afloat?
Let me see, 98, almost 20 years. I mean, almost 30 years,
That's insane. Yeah.
and still same price.
10,000 back then must have been phenomenal. But
Yeah,
now, wow, that's crazy to think.
inflation.
Yeah, exactly.
It has also been considered the Olympics of submission in grappling, but the prestige with the Olympic level finance support. They are, who is backing for their? I was wondering, is it Saudi money for ADCC Abu Dhabi?
That I,
Because that's their name, Abu Dhabi.
right. Probably is, I would guess.
I'm pretty sure they're not short of money up there.
Right. Yeah.
They're not hurting for money. Usually, grapplers in this event they usually tend to depend on seminars, instructionals, and gym ownership, not really like their competition earnings.
Well, I mean, historically, that's really, well, especially with this being kind of the highest level, that's about the only incomes that there are for jiu-jitsu athletes. Really, the prize winnings of any competition is just not enough to live off.
Yeah,
Not
and
even,
it's
yeah,
something you have to sacrifice so much.
right. Especially with, I mean, ADCC being every other year as well. It's not even a yearly pay.
Yeah, $10,000 for 2 years.
Right.
Use of Wesley.
Yeah, don't spend it all in one place.
He also is taxed too.
Yeah.
So how much are you really getting? 7,000 out of that. Do you think that money changes how athletes approach ADCC now?
I think it'll bring in more people. I don't know if it'll change. I feel like the people going in are going in pretty hard. I mean, my understanding is even at the like entry levels, the competitions to get into the actual ADCC are brutal competitions. Like people get hurt all the time because people are going hard in those. Um, to be honest, that's I mean one reason I didn't. I mean, I haven't tried it. I'm not really competing lately, but back when I was, like, I don't know. I don't really want to get hurt, you know?
Yeah, the rules are ruthless as well.
Right.
There's no such thing as a uniform for that. IBJJF to make sure your cuff is certain length that you go to wear no patches. ADCC, you show up there in your underwear and you can slam anybody into the bleachers, no
Right.
problem.
That's the other thing too. Yeah, they don't always stop it when it goes off the mats. They're wrestling on concrete, between chairs. It's craziness.
Yeah, as long as the referee can count, if goal goes. What's the point of having a mat if you're gonna be in the bleachers?
Yeah.
But just a breakdown for the changes of the pay. Let me show this here. So previously, for each weight class, the first place winner used to get $10,000, will increase now to $20,000. Second place is going to be went from $5,000 to $10,000. Now the women's they stayed the same because they changed their pricing recently of 2024 to $10,000 for the first prize and 5,000 for the second place. The absolute went from $40,000 to $50,000. Superfly winner $50,000 compared to 40,000 2024. But the losers still they remain the same. One thing here is the difference. Well, it's probably the same before because remember it went from 5,000 $10,000. It was twice as much men was getting paid, but now the women's are getting paid $10,000. Men getting paid $20,000 for the winner, which is still go back to the same thing that they were doing before. Women getting paid half as much.
Yeah. Cue
If
Fiona Davis.
is
I
she
don't.
going?
She's gonna be laying into this, I'm sure. I mean, she likes to.
Is it Fiona or are you talking about Kendall?
Fiona.
Okay,
Uh.
I think because Kendall she does the same thing too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They complain about the difference.
Yes.
But I wonder if the absolute price does that include the women's as well? Because women's they have an absolute as well. Division.
I would think that could be the same. I don't
Mm.
know. Yeah, it's a good question.
Did Gordon was the first one that did he do absolute in Superfight or did he do Superfight in his own division back in 2022.
Say that again. Sorry.
Gordon Ryan, whenever he did a 2022 ADCC, did he do his own weight and the super fight, or did
I thought
he?
he did the absolute in the super fight.
That's right. Okay, I can't remember which division that he did.
Yeah, I thought it was absolute.
Okay, because usually it's a big guy usually winning the super fight, the absolute.
I would think. I mean, I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time. The only guys I remember was Marcelo. But after that, have any smaller person like Rotolo brothers won absolute?
I don't think so. Not off the top of my head. Yeah. I mean, at that level, I mean, gosh, you'd have to be way better than everybody else
Yeah,
to
and the
win
game
as a
has
small
been
guy.
and the game has been spread evenly as far as knowledge.
Yeah.
The big
Yeah.
guy can roll as good as that smaller guy. It's hard to make the difference, make the big jump to be able to because freaking weight is weight. Moving a big ass a person.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's more work. Especially with steroids as well.
Oh yeah,
Being
oh
so
yeah,
rampant.
oh yeah. Did you freaking roll rage out of a fucking armbar?
Yeah.
Now, while grappers are finally getting paid what they deserve, another battle is emerging not on the mats but in the culture of combat sport itself. Jacqueline Van Damme challenging Jake Paul, honor versus promotion. I guess that you can call that. Considering Van Damme, he challenged him in a combat match, not boxing, and he's willing to offer 50% of his profit to a charity. I don't remember what was that charity that he chose to donate it to. Van Damme, he has a background in karate and kickboxing. His record for kickboxing was 18-1. He represented honor, legacy, cultural respect. Although he liked cocaine, no how much honor is in that. Allegedly, he hasn't competed in a while. Back in his day when he was 18-1, Jake Paul represents promotion, entertainment, prize fighting, economics, and modern combat sports business. And this is old martial arts values confronting the new world of combat sport entertainment. Now, will Jake Paul accept if it's not boxing?
I feel like that would be the hang up. Because I feel like a lot of the fights that he's had have been heavily regulated, even from boxing rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to go into something that's more open than boxing, I don't know that would happen. Although I feel like the charity he would probably go for, and obviously it's the age bracket he likes to fight. So
Yeah, he likes beating. He's in that Conor McGregor bracket. He likes beating old men,
yes,
beating the shit out of them. Especially, he's smaller than Jake Paul.
mm,
So that's another criteria that he meets.
exactly.
Do you think that, like you said, the charity involvement changed the perception of these spectacle fights?
Does it change the? I think so. Yeah, I do. I think it tends to bring in viewers as well. If it's kind of like a interesting match that a lot of people, it kind of catches your eye. So a lot of the people that enjoy watching fights anyways are going to watch it. But I do think that it being a charity match probably brings in people from the outside as well. Just because
Yeah,
if it's supporting a good cause and you don't hate fighting, maybe you'll, be more prone to watch it.
yeah. Because another example I can think of was CGI. I remember how CGI too. They promote a lot of the fair fight. They had a lot of advertising about how they promote self defense for all less fortunate in other countries.
Yeah.
It was a charity that they were chose for that event.
Mhm.
People are willing to, I mean, they're willing to spend the money not just on that entertainment value, but also if this going to the pocket to help other people less fortunate. Yeah, you make it. You'll help it. It's kind of like a moral win, perhaps, because you're doing a good cause. Of even though people are beating the shit, each other, giving each other CTE.
Right. It's for a good cause.
Yeah,
CTE for a cause.
yeah. Ah man, thank you for the donation, $50,000. I did that. Oh, I can't remember. No, it wasn't a fight. It was a run. Broke as hell. Hey, no, I know that's no. You didn't directly donate it. It's the organization that you were fighting through. Damn. Now, do you think are we watching this combat sport evolve into pure entertainment or something else entirely?
Watching the combat sport evolve into pure entertainment.
Yeah, because rather than competition, for example, this prize fighting aspect of it is so because one is an actor, the other one is a exhibition boxer.
I mean, the Jake Paul's fights, I feel like, are pretty much exactly that. That's only entertainment. It's not really, you're not really coming to watch anybody push the limits of the human body. You know what I mean? I feel like the UFC, you do. That's kind of what you're there for. Is you're gonna see somebody really try to win. You know what? This is. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's anything but entertainment.
Yeah, and it has so much fuckery that they put in their contract for the fight
Exactly.
because you don't have to knock it out or something like that. They put in the contract.
Right. Yeah, there's zero possibility of this being like the next boxing champion.
Speaking of boxing champion, I don't know if you've seen that Terrence Crawford. His son just won a wrestling state championship in Nebraska.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty sweet because I remember when Terrence Crawford was in the JRE. Yeah, he was talking about he doesn't fuck around with wrestlers because see, boxing is the one thing, but if you go on the street, you fighting a wrestler, they're gonna fuck you up. Like he slam you everywhere. You go. But his son just won the state tournament in wrestling.
Dang, teaching his son to be dangerous.
Yeah. Also, sometimes combat athletes, especially for boxing, they don't want their kids to gravitate towards boxing because it's a really a sport that you have to. It takes a while for you to work yourself up and be able to get paid good money. Something that's, for example, the squeeze worth the juice scenario. And some people don't make it. How many examples have been of not wrestler, but boxer that have received brain damage along the way and they never became famous.
Right.
But it's crazy that he sees on wrestling, considering wrestling doesn't get as much money anyways. But there's other avenues you can do from there
Yeah.
after wrestling.
Yeah.
Not just Olympic, but you can do other stuff. But while legends challenges from the outside, inside the wrestling world, the next generation isn't waiting. Jack Forrest is burning up his red shirt, choosing legacy over time. Considering it's a young sport, but usually young athletes in high school they don't do so well when they move to the college area. He's currently undefeated. He started wrestling college in January. It's just ridiculous. Because I remember seeing that Dean Thomas in UFC BJJ do the comparison of I can't remember his name right now. The 19-year-old that he's a leg locker out of Kingsway. Gabriel, he is 24 years old, which is just 5 years difference. But you see the difference in the grappling. So you have point diminishing return. You have the knowledge as you get older, but your body doesn't uh, kind of volunteer as much.
Right.
Doesn't cooperate as much, rather. And kids nowadays, they are though they able to do those mistakes the younger they are, and you have to get better. Which is it's the knowledge that you have at 24, you can get them younger, and then once you get at 18, like example, this kid right here, that's a terrible combination for your opponent.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just the recovery, the bounce back, it's just so much.
Yeah. So in this scenario, Jack for his burn up is redshirt eligibility, in which if you wrestle 17 matches under your team, you're still eligible for using a redshirt. So it doesn't count off 1 year of your eligibility. Considering he only started wrestling in college in January, he beat Drake Ayala by tech fall, which Drake Ayala is a senior at Iowa, never been tech fall in college, 2-time NCAA finalist. Which is
Wow.
ridiculous.
That's wild. Okay.
How much of a statement win do you think that was for the rest of the division?
I mean, yeah. About as big of a statement as you get, I think.
Yeah. It's like, dude, how are we going to stop him?
Right.
This is a burning this redshirt is a massive decision. So it means sacrifice his future year of eligibility for the present moment. But also I can think of it's 2026. He has this year. You can also use a what you call a Olympic red shirt. So if he wants to compete in the Olympic team in 2028, which is in college, he can use the red shirt to compete in the 2028 Olympics and then still have a year is eligible for compete his last other 4 years,
Okay.
which makes sense.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
Some
you
interesting rules around that.
yeah, because it's kind of like you have the so you have your regular competition, you have your IBJJF, you have CJI, but then every 2 years you have to represent your country in the Olympics, for example, ADCC. For that, I don't think if you want to compete in there, you're not allowed to be you can wrestle like in NCAA for some reason. So you use
Interesting.
the as a and also you want to prepare yourself for freestyle because it's a different style. It's kind of like gi or no gi. So ADCC is no gi. You compete in gi the whole all 3 years. Before the year, you just want to focus on getting rank higher. So you go in the ranking series, try to compete in there, get high ranking, and then qualify for the Olympic a weight class for your country and then compete in the Olympics as well,
Hmm.
which kind of prestigious because you only get that chance 4 years, every 4 years.
Right.
So less delay for you to get it. Maybe that makes sense if he's trying to use that redshirt for that year rather than now.
Right. I mean, that'd make a lot of sense. I would.
I mean, he qualified. He qualified for the senior team this year at 18 years old in high school. He won U23, which is 23 years old. The a year that the anybody on the 23 can compete in there. He won that in Worlds. So he was going against a grown man and winning. He won that World Championship. And he made that World team.
Wow. That's, oh my gosh. I mean, that's so much potential, you
Yes.
know? Oh my gosh.
How much confidence did he has?
I wonder. I wonder. I mean, I'm sure he's confident. Yeah, I don't know. I do wonder how he keeps it under wraps because I mean, if you get too high and mighty, it will cost you.
Yeah. Possibly maybe he's just not so much confidence, but he also love competing. If you're willing to
Right.
burn up here. So if you
Right.
enjoy the process, you take your legs losses in your practice room or other places.
Yep.
It keeps you humble there because I'm pretty sure your coach keep you humble to a certain extent in practice.
Right. I'm sure that, yeah, it's probably the coach's number one goal with him.
Yeah. Hey, can we do that? Eh? Um,
Yes. Too good.
fuck him up, bring in the heavyweight. But he, maybe I mean, if that's the beauty of falling in love, of doing things, and getting improvement all along the way. That helps you keep you keep going and going
Right.
because it's like more of renewable fuel because the ups and downs are going to come, but if you're having that what you call mindset of growth mindset, perhaps that you just want to evolve, and losing is part of the process too. Man, it's nuts that he tech form, Drahela.
Yeah. I mean, that's gotta be it. I mean, it has to be a severe love of the sport and of learning. And that's the only way that sort of thing happens. It is really cool to see. I mean, combat sports and really any area of life when you see somebody really excelling and you can tell it's just because they love what they're doing. That is always really cool to see. I feel like
Yeah,
just see how much passion, how far it can get you.
yeah. Also another thing we have to take consideration. Let's back it up a little bit. He's in the. I think that's the most stacked weight class in the NCAA's. They have the
Really?
returning champion Lucas Byrne at 133. Remember the guy who has a tall girlfriend?
Yeah.
You have undefeated Joy Blaze from Penn State. in there. You have Davino, also he's a pinning machine from Ohio State. Those three, they'll be wrestling each other in Big Tens. That's a gauntlet in there. They'll be
Oh,
wrestling each other.
yeah.
But man, if and then you have Jack Forrest in the mix. That'll be a crazy it'll be a if all of them make it to semis, it will be a crazy dog eat dog
Right.
tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll bring some views. That's crazy.
Yeah. Because in every bracket there's only one winner.
Right.
Everybody loses.
Gosh, yeah, that's crazy to think about.
It will be you will see how because it's only how many months he's been in wrestling college, you will determine what his starting point is in college in his first few months. And then from there, it's going to be high watermark for him. Trying to do that the rest of his college career to replicate that. I mean, if he starts at champion as a freshman, that's a tall task.
Yeah, yeah, true. Have a target on your back that long. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's brutal. You have people studying you so hard.
Yeah. And especially in that stack division
Right.
at 133. And you able to become king in there. While the young athletes rise, programs themselves are battling for dominance. Oklahoma State dominate Iowa in a power shift in wrestling. Last year, Iowa was able to beat Oklahoma State. Was David Taylor's first year as a coach at Oklahoma State, and that was a statement win for them. They won 32-11. It was a close. It was a domination. They have another guy, Diego Vega. He pinned Iowa's guy. They have Jack Forrest, Tech Fall. And it's amazing how they are able to build their guys in loving competition. And if they're able to, he said they want their guys to be their third string to be as good as the first string guys. So whenever time comes, injury comes, it's a contact sport. Somebody gets hurt, somebody's ready to go, be willing to compete. And is they are in there for 4 year cycle. So those three guys, one of them might graduate and be able to take the position for the guy that left. So it's a matter of time. Somebody gets a certain position, being able to compete and possibly get a national champion. There are signals as far as for Oklahoma State beating Iowa. Iowa gets a lot of NIL guys recently. To them, Oklahoma State had recruiting success. They able to bring, I think Alex Facundo. He was in Penn State. He transferred to Oklahoma State. Who else was transferred to Oklahoma State recently? A Zach Ryder. I think he transferred from Penn State. So those two guys, just for context, David Taylor wrestled on the Penn State. He was their Tom Brady in their program. When he graduated from there, I can't remember what was it called. M1 was a training center. So he had high school kids that they will come in there and wrestle for his training, and they were able to feed into the Penn State program. Once he left, he started coaching Oklahoma State, and some of those guys they came down to Oklahoma State. It's kind of like undercut
Uh,
the Penn State program. That was nuts. But
yeah.
he's that good of a coach. They said that he's really genius on stuff as far as just not just wrestling, but all the things business part. What he did with that program, Oklahoma State, he did a big revamp on social media. They have what they call Stillwater is the town or the city that their college is, the campus. They call it Stilly Boys. That's the name of their account. And dude, the things that they're doing there, it's kind of like a reality TV series that I do. For their 197 pound, they did a bet. If you beat this guy, I can't remember what the outrageous number was. It was like seven Five Guys burger. They will give you. And dude, he ate all of them because he
Oh,
won his match. He's like, "Fuck, I fucking eat it." So he's like, "If I win, you give me Five Guys burger." He's like, "Yeah." So he like they got a friend. He's like, "Dude, next time we're just gonna do something else because it's too expensive." Dude, like, I was
Yeah,
and dude, in season, that's wild too because you have to cut that weight. That's
right?
really bold.
My gosh. Yeah. That would hurt so bad.
Yeah, dude, you that's the price of winning. But there's different stuff that they do. Like, and then he has the social media wise, they have improved the program because a lot of people are really watchable and they're packing. So in that aspect, they're packing their arena for fans coming there, ticket sales, so that I'm pretty sure the athletic director enjoys that for the program. Business wise, he talks about wrestling all the time, and the way he teaches coaches wrestling makes you, for some reason, it kind of you feed off him and you want to do more of wrestling. Some people coach you, dudes are like, yeah, yeah, whatever. He like, for example, I said that sample of Mark Munoz. I'll tell you about his son. He was doing all the stuff like baseball and stuff like that. And he took, I guess, like a camp or private with David Taylor. After that, he's like, dude, I'm quitting my, I don't want to do any other sports. I just want to do wrestling. It's like, dude, I wrestle at Oklahoma State. What was the energy when I was trying to teach you how to wrestle? This freaking guy teach you for an hour and now you want to just wrestle and don't do nothing else?
That's funny.
And like even like when you see him in public, you see him talking to other people, and he's going over technique, hand position, things like because he loves the sport. So that also helps. That I can see how he's able to improve the program because as a first year coach, he finished last year third place in NCAA's as a team, just the first year.
Yeah. Wow.
So we should see how he
We'll
does.
see. Yeah, exactly. You'll see how that develops.
Yeah, it is nice to see a program that have that kind of culture and build a program that just incentivize and also they mitigate other obstacles for athletes. I mean, they have the nutritionist, they have a sports psychologist for recovery, they have a hyperbaric chamber, and all this kind of like top of the art
Equipment.
sources that they have for them
Yeah.
to be able to be successful. So the only thing you have to do, study, recover, and come to practice and do. One time, I think they had that's some crazy. One of the challenge was I think it's like 150 takedowns during during class. Yeah, I can't remember how many it was, but they have today challenge is you have to do 150 takedowns. Everybody don't leave here until you're done. It was let me see for how many it was, and they also as marketable as they are, they have other guys that come in there. For example, Diego Lopez goes in there and train with them to work on his wrestling. Yeah, of course, DC is alumni from there. Your boy Nicky Rod, he goes in there as well, trains in there for his wrestling and his grappling. So a lot of people they gravitate going over there.
Interesting.
It's nice to see that 150 reps per person in one practice. That's hard. How many? That's equivalent. How many submissions can you hit in 1 hour? Will you do 150?
An hour? No.
No.
Two per minute? More than two per minute. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and that's not zero resistance. So that's the consideration. But even like that, dude, that's including movement and putting positions. You take consideration 150 takedowns, dude, and everybody has to do it.
That's how you
That's
get good, I guess.
yeah. Also, you incentivize you to be on the offensive side. You're used to just keep going and going. You know, you have the confidence your body's able to get those takedowns and get the position and finish and finish and finish, which what you want your guys to see and do is the little practice and he kind of like what you call forging a sword, hammering to its sharp. That's what they do with the program, and I mean it's working.
Yeah, clearly.
They were that's one of the oldest programs that I think that's the program how the that record for most NCAA wins as a team. But that was back in the day. The last one they won, I think, was 2006. And that's the only team out of the Big Ten that won a national title as a team. Iowa has won it, Ohio State has won it, and Penn State has been running the board since then. So, do you think that Oklahoma State is going to return to the dominant national championship form that they did back then?
I mean, time will tell, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of potential there
Yeah,
for that to happen.
yeah, they have a lot of guys. I mean, when they did back in the day, they hear Johnny Hendricks used to be in the UFC. He wrestled for Oklahoma State. That's one of their guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at one point they had, I think, 5 guys win nationals.
All
I
right.
mean, if you get that many guys in there, 5 out of 10 win nationals, that's dominance right there. As far as scoring, and then do you have? That's just place number one. Do you have how many other guys that you have All American along the way, other weight class, and try to compete against Penn State, which is their guy. That that's the gold standard apparently right now. As far as programs, they have. I mean, they have 14-1 takedown ratio.
Is crazy.
Yeah. So if you're able to match that, you have to because Oklahoma State have also the regional training center for Olympic teams. So I think Sahih Valencia trains out of there, Wyatt Hendrickson trains out of there. So if you're able to match that, you have the other competitor against Penn State when it comes to Olympic guys practicing there. And considering the head coach is a Penn State alumni. But we shall see. Only time will tell. But not every story in combat sport ends in victory. Now, Aaron Nagal's medical retirement. Just for context, Aaron Nagal, he was All American for Minnesota. Transferred to Penn State. He had a injured shoulder last year. He was forced to step away from competition last year. Had to get surgery and then came back this year. And I think it was in the Southern Scuffle that he got re-injured his shoulder and he was out for the rest of the year. And now he's forced to retire from the sport altogether. Injuries is probably considered one of those invincible opponents that's just nagging. You don't know it's bad till it just snaps.
Certain people are more prone to it, it seems like, and certain injuries, once they happen, it's never as strong, so it's much more prone to happening.
Yeah. You see
That's
that with
yeah.
Dominic Cruz? His body just turned down.
hmm That really, really sucks to see someone with a lot of potential being kind of snuffed out, really. I mean,
Yeah.
still more to life, thankfully. They can move on, they can do other things, but just can't compete at that high level anymore, which I'm sure is really discouraging for them.
Yeah. Because you know what your true potential is, but your body says no. Like Ryan Hall, for example. Ryan Hall, how good he was as a grappler. But his body was just tearing him down. No pun intended, it was his Achilles heel. It sucks when it's like forced retirement too at your young age because you're in your 20s. You have to retire from sport. What do you go back to? Pickleball? Better you throw your shoulder out playing pickleball.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be embarrassing. How many careers end before athletes reach their full potential? How many careers do you think you see end before athletes reach their true potential?
I mean, quite a lot if you're not talking like thinking about like MMA level. I feel like that happens a lot. I feel like there's a lot of guys that are very talented, but either aren't training right or their body just, is prone to injury, things like that. I feel like you see that quite a bit in MMA. I don't know wrestling as well, um, but yeah, I mean, I would say quite often you see that.
Yeah. Yeah, because also you have so much things you have to train for, and recovery is difficult to do the thing. And then sometimes, like you say, your body doesn't cooperate with you. And like the example of Sabib Magomed Sharipov, he was really good striking. He was really good. He was from, I think he was from Dagestan, but he trained under Mark Henry in New York. But he had a heart condition and he had to retire because
Yeah.
that's one organ that you kind of need after you retire. If you
Right.
training it
Right.
at your early age, you're forced to retire. And some of those things are congenital or bad genetics.
Right. Right. That's the thing. And the other thing too is I feel like in MMA especially there's a mentality of, you grind through the pain, but I feel like that backfires a lot. MMA is a weird one because I feel like it's not professionally studied as much as like wrestling is, or at least not like on you know, a high school coach and college coach kind of level, to where a lot of guys are kind of trying to do it on their own with a little bit of help from their coach, and they push too hard and they break their bodies. They're not training in a efficient way, I guess, for lack of a better term, just in a way that, preserves their body somewhat.
Do you think it's because the sport is so young? Because it's only 33 years the sport has been going compared to all this, like wrestling has been going for so long to kind of find the kinks or things that work for different people and what works for others.
I would imagine that's a big part of it. Yeah.
Because that's what we keep secret from others. One team don't want the other team to know something else. But if the more the knowledge gets spread, you see what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, plus it's just so many different ways to beat on your body. You get your striking, your grappling, just all of it is, I mean, there's so much to try to balance that A, you got to put in a lot of hours, which breaks down your body, but B, you're beating on your body in a lot of different ways. So if you have a weakness, you'll find it.
Yeah. Or your body will tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you have to take consideration. You have that striking part, you have the Muay Thai, you have boxing, you have professional athletes that are doing those sports, boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, grappling, and try to do all those implementing into your MMA. And all of those people have 24 hours. So you're trying to put what? How many hours of those 24? And how many can you break it down? In how many sessions can you do during the day before your body just gives? The only guy that I can think that he has found a way to successfully do it, all those aspects of MMA without his body breaking down is Mighty Mouse. I never seen him that he was injured, but he was able to mix all of those things together in a high level
That's
without getting
true.
injured.
That's true. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that one would come down to genetics, and he's small. I think that helps a
Yeah.
lot as well.
The people that he go against don't hit as hard.
Yep, yep. I wasn't even thinking on that level, but that's true as well. But like your joints, your bones just take less forces in general when you're,
Yeah.
you know, a
Less
smaller
body
body is
less body weight that you have to move around
exactly.
from your opponent than somebody a heavyweight.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he's definitely one of the few that's like extremely high level on pretty much any broad spectrum martial art, like the striking and the grappling. He's high level.
To this day, still goes and practice in different camps. He's still pretty proficient. Just don't have like any. I don't see any injuries that are recurring that is preventing him from competing in those. And last one's gonna bring up was Rafael Lobato, old school. Rafael Lobato Jr. His first year in college wrestling, he just decided to begin again. First year competed college wrestling. I think he placed second in his conference. And considering he's already a legend in BJJ and former MMA world champion, which is extraordinary. He doesn't really have to do this. He just chose to do it. There's no money in this, no writing. He stepped into the sport where he wasn't already dominant. And true martial arts is willing to become a beginner again. I think this is a picture that he posted. Oh, when he took second on his he, yeah, look at that with the youngins hanging around.
Yeah,
And whose dad is over there? He's warming up.
yeah.
He's
What?
lost like his
What's that? Go for it.
It's against the 3 times conference champion. That's what I was going to bring up. What were you gonna say?
Speaking of athletes who, well, almost had their career ended early, Lovato went through some medical brain issues, growths, I think it was,
Mhm.
or something along those lines that nearly took him out, and I think maybe did end his MMA career early.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that has to do with him trying this new thing? Maybe he's found a new appreciation for it?
Maybe, I think, because I remember he signed up have every year, I can remember one more time, I think it was in September or something like that, they have the US Open. They usually do for they do a US grappling event for wrestling, and do weight. You don't often see weight classes. For example, with Naga, you have masters, executive, like that. For in Vegas, they do it, and I remember he signed up, and I think he placed second or third a year or two ago. I guess he just got the bug and just decided to go and wrestle in college and go against the youngest. Just put on the bathing suit and go wrestle with some some kids in there. But it is admirable that he's willing to be humble to learn a new event like that.
Right,
As
right.
for, and I think also the coach for OKC is the school, Oklahoma City. I think that's the name of the school. He was his grappling or wrestling coach whenever he's competing in MMA.
Really
Yeah, that's why I say he decided to go wrestle for them.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. And he's got an in. He's worked with the guy before.
I mean, he's willing to pay back. Hey, I didn't pay you for a couple of fights. What do you want me to do? Come wrestle for me.
Yeah, he's paying his debt now.
He owns him now. What do you think drives someone who has already achieved everything to start over?
I feel like it's got to be a thirst for knowledge, a
Hmm.
thirst for just learning more about martial arts sports. I feel like it's got to be. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear his take on that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I've heard before. It was a different subject of somebody older teaching younger people that are starting in the on the path, in which this the person said their take was, I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was about when you're older, you go back to teaching those, so it kind of brings back memories. Are you aware? You also help them get better, so it kind of activate this part of your brain in which you're able to mentor people, and you kind of reliving those memories at the same time, and you helping others at the same time to get better in that aspect. So you not only helping them, also kind of bringing that itch back, because at one point your body won't be able to do what it used to be before. But that's why you see probably a lot of people going to the coaching aspect of whether it be wrestling or jujitsu, and not so much in the competing aspect. But it does have a some sort of gratifying aspect when you go in, because I'm pretty sure he's learning in here, but also he's also teaching those guys along the way of what it's like to be in the competing at a high level. Because I'm pretty sure they haven't faced that. Those kids haven't faced the factor of competing in the arena with so many people being there watching you fight. So I had to deal with the nerves of some of them. They might be hindering to the performance. So I think that might be something that had to do with it, because he's humble enough to learn a new art, but also be able to pass down that knowledge. Do you think this is the purest form of martial arts, of learning new things? Because you see that also in GSP too, do the same thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think so. What was it? One of the Gracies saying, you go back to white belt, you get your black belt, and you go back to white belt because you learn that there's so much more to know. I can't remember who it was. It's the one of the founding Gracies,
Is Carlos?
maybe. Yeah. Talked about, you always have to have that white belt mentality and, I can't remember. There was something with it. I feel like he started wearing a white belt towards the end or something like that. I can't remember, but
Okay, I can't remember who it was, but I think remember hearing that,
yeah.
because you can never know too much either. To a certain extent, have you heard that saying, "The belt only covers 2 inches of your body, so don't let it identify you." Because if you identify yourself as a certain belt, you're not willing to learn because I already did this, I already did that. Like I don't have to need to know. But if you have the mentality of a white belt, it keeps you humble and it keeps you learning, which you want to do.
I guess it's kind of like if you think you know everything, you do. You won't learn anymore once you think you know everything because you're not looking to. But when you're looking to learn, you will. You'll find something, even if you already know so much.
It also keep you interesting rather than because at a certain point, it probably you get jaded from
Right.
thinking that you know everything. Like become that old grumpy man in the on the man. But if you're able to just keep open minded and be able to learn new things and along the way share your knowledge and learn from others because this sport changes a lot.
Yeah.
The work 10 years ago, the work 20 years before that. And then you have, for example, last it was 10 years was when there was the leg lock revolution of um, the Danaher Death Squad, DDS taking over EBI 10 years ago. And then that changed into different avenues for back take attacks. And now, when everything was balanced out, you throw in a pit or a bowl, change the scenario in which you're competing in. So, add a different aspect of the game. So,
Yeah.
you're learning along the way on all those aspects. Keeping an open mind helps because you want to go in there like a dinosaur, like Chris Cyborg, Cyborg Abreu. You just get tore up within the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You want to learn something new. But see, what's his name? I just remember his name. Forgot his name. Barney Rocha. He's willing to learn you, and he's dude. Considering he has a shitty heart, probably because of some juice, his cardio is nuts. Do you think part of his cardio, another part is his mentality of the way he competes?
I mean, yeah, I suppose that could be. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard. Does he do the? Is he on the juice so that because he loves it and wants to train more, or because it gets results in
Yeah,
the wins? It's
and
hard
you
to.
have the confidence. It gives you the confidence to be able to push more.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because you know, so saying you have the cardio, but your mentality is like, oh, dude, am I gassing out right now, or is it the jitters of my nerves? But if you have the cardio and you know you can push hard and you can mentally tough, which muscle is hard to exercise whenever you're on PEDs too, because you don't really have a gauge of your mental toughness because your body is gonna keep going, kind of like playing a game at a easier skill level
Yeah.
to a certain extent, because you know your body is gonna push. But if you have a on the juice and you're mentally tough because your body's gonna break down. You have to fight out of this, how you fight out of that. That's a muscle that gets work whenever confidence is low. That's when you see that happen. Some of the athletes, whenever you saw they came into the UFC, they cleaned the sport. Whenever they had to go off the juice, see who was the mental tough and who was not. Because the you had the same kind of like the equal gas fuel and you might have the I guess the stamina to go. You were so used of compensating by taking a shortcut that when you didn't have the shortcut anymore, you just you just get wrecked, and your body wasn't answering the same way you wanted to, and that mental toughness was not there anymore. You just break. It was some of those guys. They probably was their chin went out. For example, Alistair Ring. When he was on the juice, he was just wrecking everybody, going through everybody. But whenever he was on the juice, he was getting wrecked by all the guys. I
That
think he
is
has one.
interesting.
I think he has like one of the most knockouts, like getting knocked out. But at the same time, he was able to finish guys too. So for some reason, he was able to keep up. But he was also He had been fighting forever since Pride, so he used to fighting. But other guys, if they in which kind of incentivize. Now, I don't want people to lose all the time, but when they first are starting, if they're losing, able to bounce back from losses. So as you get older and you have to rely not so much on your wins, because if you win all the time at the beginning and you get one loss, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. You had that. But if you're having like just focus on getting better every day, or getting better every competition, so whenever that wins come, it tastes so much better. It feels so much better. Just focus on delivery practice on what you need to work on. Eventually, you become successful because you know what it's like to defeat tastes like, in not just on the mat as far as competition, but also in practice too. If you're able to do that and teach them to learn from those wins and losses, winning, you even during winning, you can still learn because based off what you did, and not just the score. Like for example, Kel talk about it will be disappointing if the only thing we got from competing is wins and losses. But he able to get out of the bad, learn things. You can also learn from the good, what you need to work on, what worked, what didn't work, and that helps keep you fresh in as far as competing in training.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, definitely makes it more worthwhile to keep going. It's more than just a win. Or
Yeah, because the win and loss is just 50-50, but you have more things that you can make you games a game out of things. For example, you're going in this so you're going against somebody better than you, just practice defense, and the last 10 seconds you go for your go-to move to go for submission. You just make a game out of it. Like, oh dude, some days you might work, some days you just work defense, somebody better than you. You got tap out 15 times, and you last 10 seconds you try to go, you crash and you're able to hit your move or anything. And some days you'll be able to defend all those and you to hit that one move and be able to finish it. I do. That's like it just add to that cookie jar. A little cookie jar in there, just enjoying it for that day. There might be a lot of long drive in the silent, but just remember that just make little games out of your gains. So you can just, especially with a little bit of time, get better. But if you have any recommendations, just let us know because we would like to learn as well what works for you, what didn't work in the game, and keep you motivated in the sport too. But have anything else for today? Do you have anything else? Okay, you want to close out?
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the cast. Give us a listen on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Give us a follow on Instagram. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mad Matters podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube so you never miss an episode. Drop us a review, share with your training partners, and keep rolling on and off the mat. Until next time, keep fighting, keep learning, keep growing.